Confessions by Barry Alter. I'm going to confess to how little I know, how monumentally little I know about art. I'm going to cruelly embarrass myself on these pages. I'm not going to try to explain that which for me cannot be explained. Really, how can a curious person have no curiosity about a subject appreciated worldwide? When it comes to art, I know nothing. Worse yet, I don't feel badly about it. You would think I'd look for an excuse. No, I'm looking for an explanation. There are, I think, persons whose left side of the brain has certain interests, while the right side has different ones. Or in this case, no interest at all. None, zero, only zeros. A part of this phenomenon might be genetic, part socioeconomic, and part due to the way certain subjects might have been taught, or better yet, presented to young Brooklyn boys and not really being taught. A kid from Brooklyn? No, that is not an excuse. Some of the greatest minds and art connoisseurs in the world were born in the borough. And from anywhere in Brooklyn, a 10-cent subway token and a 30-minute trip was the full price of entry to some of the greatest museums of the world, where collections of priceless art were always prominently on display. In addition, the New York public school system was one of the best in the world. Well, I am good at math. Numbers have a beauty, a clean quality, an exactness, a true perfection. Answering a math problem does not require an opinion. A math solution is right or it is wrong. No discussion. Nor is there a need to delve into the personality of the creator of a problem or the traumatic life issues of the solver. Mental state, gender, male, female, trans, none of that matters. Mathematicians do not hang around in Paris bars in the French Quarter discussing how an answer to a simple problem makes them feel, or if a pencil or a pen was used to arrive at an answer, or the color of the ink, or the quality of the paper. Nor do historians examine the parchment on which calculations were done with chemicals and with X-rays, and they do not have MRIs performed on the scratch paper to discover if possibly another problem might have been solved before the one under discussion on an underlying layer of that same pad, paper, or napkin. None of that is even contemplated, even if that was a milestone solution of historic import. Yes, really, it might have been done on a napkin. No matter. Bartender, another round. No, none of that. Let me now present a painting. Follow me on this, please. Nice, yes? About 5 years ago, the J. Paul Getty Museum acquired this picture. I was on a tour of the museum when I commented that one of the pictures hanging there was nice. No, 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 the instructor coldly and condescendingly said, it's not a picture, it's a painting. Okay, I said to myself, she's right. That picture is a nice painting. Wilhelm Hammerskjold is the painter of this piece of work. He died in 1916 after living his entire existence in Copenhagen. He did it when he was 48 years old and called it Interior with an Easel. This work has traveled the world and been shown in multiple exhibitions throughout the years. We are told the piece is on a canvas 31 inches high and 28 inches wide. Yes, that was exactly how it was described, the piece. This is a picture. Brigitte Bardot was a piece. But I diverge. I apologize. This is hard. Now we could look at the picture ourselves, so please pause right now, take your time and look at this piece. Observe and think about your own impressions. Do you feel it? No embarrassment here, myself. I know that I don't possess the smarts to really get it. It's true, and I'm guilty. Maybe you too. I accept that I, if left to my own resources, there is no way that I would see what is plainly there in sight to be seen. It's true. Okay, let's see. For openers, being explained to us is the picture, the painting, the piece. Okay. It is a view into rooms mostly empty, except for the shadow-inflected play of soft light drifting in from unseen windows just beyond the frame. How could anyone possibly know that? There are unseen windows beyond the frame? Well, the framer maybe knew that. We are told this piece is a superlative example of a subject Hammerskjöld painted often. Hammer liked to paint empty rooms. The narrative continues with this easy to understand and relatively reasonable description of the painting. The painting is a frontal view into a large domestic room with high ceilings. The canvas is bisected vertically by the edge of a door that is opened into another room, then divided again on the horizontal by receding layers of space. Diffuse light pours in on a diagonal, cascading from the left down the gray back walls of both rooms and reflected on the expanse of gray floor in the foreground. I'm pausing and digesting, but there's no time for that. More information is coming. The floor reflection angles up to the right as if to bounce light back into an enclosed atmospheric space. This entire picture is a dazzling construction of complex linear geometry, some physical from the apartment's architecture, and some optical. I feel a climax is coming. Together they conspire to create a space of emphatic inferiority. Now, those were my exact thoughts when I first saw this picture. Emphatic inferiority. The art critic is only warming up here. That's not what's strange. The tantalizing weird element is the pair of paintings depicted within the larger painting. One stands on an easel, its back to us, denying our prying eyes. Tantalizing? Tantalized by what might be on the painting on the easel? The one that we will never see? Tantalizing? There's more. The other is in a gilded frame and hangs behind the easel, not just on the wall, but also skied, way up at the edge of the ceiling, like a helium balloon floating away. The hanging is irrational, as if intended to throw the otherwise coherent logic of the entire composition out of whack. Say again, a balloon dragging the painting toward the ceiling? And is skied even a word? Spoiler alert. Get ready. Here it comes. It works. The painting up there at the ceiling's edge is a down-to-earth landscape rendered in muted colors. Together with its companion on the easel, the two paintings within a painting of luminous, empty rooms give us unknowable places where imagination drifts. I must admit, my imagination was drifting. I've drifted away to thinking about sunshine, the beach, food, baseball stadiums, drifting peacefully away. While I was drifting, the commentary continued without pause, piling it on in layers. And when I tuned back in, it had picked up intensity and had gone on a completely different tack. Economic chaos in the brutal wake of the Napoleonic Wars was shoved into bankruptcy by British intervention. Monarchy collapsed. Building democracy from scratch was a struggle. This exhibition productively frames this art as a visual exploration of what it means to be a nation in turmoil. Yeah, I could have told you all that. All of it. Wasn't it obvious from the moment we looked at the piece? Wasn't it? Emphatic inferiority. A nation in turmoil. Could have been my words. I could have said that. Didn't I say at the outset, I'm going to display how little I know? How monumentally little I know? Now for the shocker. and several more confessions. There is art that I love. I love Monet's work. He has a way of splashing paint from the tip of a brush, making hundreds or even thousands of little dabs on a canvas, that when you step back and look, you see beautiful little ripples shimmering on the water. Nothing is moving, but yet it is. How can you not be moved by that? I further confess, I own an art gallery. Yeah, really. Right here in the heart of Beverly Hills. I have a partner. He basically does all the work, and any idea that comes from me is always totally wrong. When clients drift through the gallery, his highly developed observational skills spot a client making a connection with something on a wall, even from a distance of 50 yards. He would make tracks to the individual, and after a few moments of silence, he'd commence a discussion, usually beginning with a gentle inquiry of how the piece made the person feel, followed by how unusual it was for an individual to be moved by a piece, to make a connection with an artwork. With great patience, he worked with stealth toward a close. A rare connection like this belongs in your home, where you could connect and enjoy it on a daily basis. If you don't take advantage of this feeling, this uncommon thing, well, you will have regret, and you will look back at what could have been. What's the price? How can you place a number on an emotional connection? Certainly more than currency, don't you agree? I studied him. It was like he was fishing. He could sense a nibble from the far end of the gallery. He felt it, and for him, rejection made no impact. He explained to me that every rejection meant that he was one rejection closer to making a score, catching a whale. He was superb at his craft. He's part art historian, part observer, part psychologist, part motivator, but totally a super slick salesman. And me, there are paintings that speak to me. It's a fact. Some softly, and some give comfort. Others, though, speak louder. The ones that spoke loudest were saying to me, "Get the hell out of here. Get far away from here. You're an imposter." In 30 minutes, you can be at the track, maybe even in time for the double.